Welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I'm your host, Glenn Poole Harding, and tonight we have a very special guest. This basketball head is a Brevoort legend who has mentored hundreds of kids growing up in the Bed-Stuy area, mainly the Brevoort housing projects. He was one of the only men coming to see me play as a youngster when I played for Lincoln. He was the father figure and big brother a lot of kids didn't have in their lives. He coached for a few years, but it was the Brevoort house team that would make history. In 1984, defeating the guys from Coney Island, made up mostly my teammates at Abraham Lincoln. Unfortunately, I got cut from that team, but it taught me a valuable lesson in waiting my turn. This basketball head also has two sons, Trey and Trevor Diggs. Let that out of the bag. Who love the game so much. This basketball head created a midget league so his youngsters can have a chance to play in the legendary Brevoort Coliseum while staying out of trouble. This tournament saved countless of young people's lives. It was an instant smash, bringing out youngsters like Rayford Alston, Stephon Marbury, Charles Lamont Jones, and Brevoort's own GB Ortiz, among other great ballers who made their name in the Brevoort Midget League. Now, there's a film done by Grady Girls Production documenting the life and impact this basketball head had on his community. To top it all, that Brevoort Coliseum will be renamed in his honor. So, without further ado, help me welcome to the show, Brevoort legend and everybody's favorite male figure, Thomas Diggs.
Y'all ready? Yes. You have just stepped into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
Yeah, can you hear me?
All right, now I can hear you because I have my music playing for the intro for you.
I like that music. You know, it wasn't Smokey or the Temptations or nothing.
And we're going to find out your top five, people that you're listening to later on. First of all, I want to say thank you. Welcome to the show. For me, this is an honor. Coming up and growing up in Brevoort, not having too many male figures to gravitate towards as I was making my transition to high school, playing high school basketball. We knew we always could lean on you. Even early on before I was playing high school basketball, we were touching those CYO leagues and stuff like that, and things that you kind of introduced us to help us stay out of trouble and things of that nature. So thank you, and I appreciate you.
No doubt, Pooh. It's amazing, when Tanya talked about doing this. Man, I'm sitting in Vegas in the sun and chilling, going bowling, traveling,
Right.
So she said, listen, first thing she asked me, do I realize, what I meant to people? I say, Tanya, no. That was something that I wanted to do, always wanted to do. But it was, it made me go back 20 to 30 years, really, to just sit back and say, hold it, man, this is what was going on. And this is what I need. Some of the first guys I coached, you mentioned that Coney Island team we beat. I love that because they came back the next year and smashed us.
Let me tell you something, man. I was let me tell you something. One of the biggest basketball lessons in my life especially one of the first ones, came from you, and I don't really think you noticed that. When you told me, and you came to me and you was like, look, and I was just moving around here too, so you was like, there's a lot of guys that been here before you and was doing this, so you wait your turn, you're gonna have your chance, man. And I appreciate you telling me that. And then not only that, we'll get into you come and support me, man. But as a youngster, it just meant so much.
Yeah. It was a lot of guys. I understood that what Coney Island meant to the guys out between that Abraham Lincoln and Grady. There were two guys that I wished wouldn't have went there. You one of them, and then one of the Folk when he went there, same thing.
Yes.
He was supposed to stay. Me and Majors, God bless him, we used to sit and talk about that all the time. Majors wanted to get everyone to come to his Robeson. It was Robeson then, but guys wanted to play.
Yeah, Paul Brown was like, how do you get up to Lincoln? And people don't know, like Diggs, I went to Lincoln following KK to play football and be KK's quarterback.
I know.
Right? So that's what everybody knew. Pooh's going to Lincoln to play football.
But, yeah, well, I always thought you was a better basketball player than football player. I always told KK and them, see, KK, they wasn't going to grow. They stood about, and they was hell of a football players. Him and
Barry,
yeah. I still follow them, but you was basketball. And we always call that back of the projects guys, but you was basketball.
I appreciate that. And it's crazy because we won the city championship the same year. KK and them won in the 86 in football with John Jay, and we won it with Lincoln. So it all worked out, man. We was all riding high that year, man.
I know. See, back then we had athletes. I remember in one of those Boys High alumni or those yearbooks, they had me and Trey and Trevor sitting up there watching Boys High play Lincoln. It wasn't fun because Lincoln did smash them, but that's what we did. That's what we did. We went and watched them guys play. I mean, sometimes when you sit and think about it, I mean, for 40 years, make that 40. I've been married 47, so me and my wife got married in 1974, the same year we did Brevoort Sports Foundation.
So y'all was involved with that as well?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Listen, watch the group we had. We had Trotman, Sonny Lewis, Sylvester Davis, Clinton Murph, and myself and my wife. Those were the 6 people. If you ever see that prong on that shirt, those were the 6 names that started that. Man, we used to sit in the even before I worked at the center, we would sit down there and try to get it. Hank Trotman always wanted something different. That's the biggest thing. And then we invited the other people, Buddy Keaton, Slim, Preacher. And that's how we got started.
Wow, that's crazy, man. So who introduced you to the game? Like, who introduced you to the game of basketball?
See, we were, growing up in Brevoort, because I grew up in Brevoort too. We played baseball when baseball season was at. Football when football was season's at, and then basketball. It has to be Raymond Ortiz's brother. First team I ever played on. That was the Crescents over at St. Benedict. We played then. And then I played with Ty Wisher and Henry Kinsey. And they were Boys High players. They're the one who taught me, listen, go down low and we'll think about passing you the ball. Because I wasn't no player. I had Mel and Slim, so, I mean, I wasn't going to be that player that's going to get the scholarship. Even when we started the Midget League, that was one of the things I wanted to do, see if I can get these kids scholarship. But my brother-in-law Harrison said, listen, he said, some of these guys play like me and you, so they're not going to get no scholarship. So we understood that.
Right. And the incredible job you guys did of keeping kids out of trouble, especially during the crack era when, I went away to school one summer to Maine Central, came back, everybody selling crack and on crack. I couldn't believe it was just like a total shift, quick.
Selling crack and want to be drug dealers. That was rough. This is what I liked about the Midget League. We did that for 20 years. I didn't realize it was 20 years.
Yeah.
We started off with just 4 teams. I always tell them I always thought Lamont Jones was the best midget league player.
Look,
And
he
he
was
was
a
tough.
terror since the public school era
I
when it
know.
came to that basketball, man. Yes.
Listen, even at Brooklyn Tech, we went to watch him play. But see, I had them in day camp, him and Charles, and I used to get them guys to play football. But I saw Lamont was tough, you know.
Wow.
We had guys that Lamont, GB, Tracy Davis, Jabbar. Well, Jabbar I thought was better than all of them, but he just didn't stay the course, really.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
he was tough back then.
Yep. Tracy Davis, my God.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, that's a name we rarely hear.
I
And,
know.
when these guys were young, these guys was getting it in.
But we always tell him, this is what I call him, he's our first MVP. He beat out Jabbar. He was our first MVP.
Look at that.
And Tracy was tough, but I didn't think he loved basketball the way he wanted to.
Right. He became great in life, like a lot of those young men.
I know, he did.
A lot of times basketball can take you but so far, and it's up to you to carry the ball the rest of the way.
Right. And that's what I enjoyed about them guys and I still stay in touch with them. They'd give me a call or when they, even Nate Crawford or Nate Johnson.
Yes, Johnson, my teammate.
He's another guy who was mad at me because he was young enough to play in the midget league, but he was so far better than the rest of them. He was a coach. I made him a coach. He didn't like that, but he knew he couldn't play with them guys because he was that much better than them.
Yeah. So you went to the high?
No, I went to FDR.
Oh, okay.
Listen, my class was the first 4-year class graduating out of the school. It was a brand new school. That's why we went there.
Did you go to the same time as Vinnie Johnson?
No, listen. Hey, Pooh, I'm 70 years old.
Yo, James, you gotta mind us. We've been around you so long.
I know.
Right?
Vinny
we forget.
Vinny was there with Kurt. I used to go watch them play too.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look, and look, and you older guys that's out there, you get a chance to go see a young guy play that's in your neighborhood, do it. Because you have no idea how it's going to impact that young man's life or that young girl's life when they see you in the stands. Right? Not someone connected to the family, just someone in the community that come out to support. So that was good.
You know what we did at the, when we started, because I used to make them guys, when training them got a little older, I used to make them play seniors. They get beat up, but they got a chance to play.
Yeah.
The same thing with Trevor LeVar. That was my little backcourt. And they play juniors. They get beat up, but both of them were D1 players.
Oh, them boys go at it.
What do they call them? Batman and Superboy or something. They gave them names. Harvey and Ricky gave people names, but it was enjoyable. I enjoyed, even when I came back the other time, I would enjoy sitting back, just sitting in the Coliseum watching the game instead of running up and down there reffing. Maybe that's why my knees are bad now. Trying to ref them games. But
right. So who are some of the guys that you came up watching and idolizing?
That I came up watching?
Yes.
Well, Charles Jones, definitely, he's the reason.
No, I'm talking about you when you was growing up.
Oh. Well,
we're gonna get to them guys.
Okay.
When you was growing up, who were you going to see? Like, the older guys that was in the neighborhood who you looked up to. Who were some of those guys?
First have to be Nat Miller. They called him the Bull. And
you kind of dark over there. It kind of got dark over there.
Okay, yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Nat Miller. Nat Miller was our first superstar, really. He played football, basketball, and baseball, and he was tough. Freddie Lewis, another one who would get us on the court and beat us up. But for my age group, it was Mel Davis and Slim. Simple as that. Slim Montgomery.
Listen, Slim Montgomery. When I heard about him playing that Oral Roberts,
there you go,
and being the ball player and all those things, we had a good conversation a while back. and I told him, you know, I definitely want to try to get him on here, get an interview or something, because that history needs to be documented, right? Because sometimes we forget about the legacy of the people who came before us.
And that's the problem that we have. See, it's the same thing now. See, even with Trevor and LeVar, that's history. Now, what happened to the guys coming behind them? You know, we don't get a chance. I don't get a chance to see him. I always ask about him. But going back to my era, Slim, you know, Slim was tough. I had a brother-in-law, Tony or Anthony Williams. He led the nation in rebounding one year at St. Francis up in Maine.
Wow.
And he was tough. I played with him. He couldn't shoot or score or nothing like that, but grab a rebound. And they would have games with Mel and Slim. Oh, them are tough. Mel was probably the most proficient because he played harder than Slim, really. He did. He played harder than Slim, but Slim shot better than him, handled better than pass. You know, if Slim had Mel, you know, grit, he'd have been a pro. They was even drafting him, but he hurt his knee, and that was it. He didn't want to play no more. Julius Holmes. Julius Holmes was my man from FDR. He couldn't get me on the team for some reason. But Julius was another player that was tough. We don't get a chance to see them. Richie Williams. Richie was another one from Tulsa, came up in Lane. These guys was ball players. You know, it wasn't no point guard or shooting guard. They just played basketball. That's how we learned.
How good was Mo Rivers?
Listen, see, Mo's a year under me. That's all. Mo is 1 year under me. But Mo was tough. Mo's the only player that I know that won a high school championship, a junior college championship, and a North Carolina State championship. Mo was tough. To this day, I don't know why he didn't make the pros. I said maybe he wasn't friendly with David Thompson, because David Thompson took Marty Towel to the pros. But no, Mo was tough.
Vaughn was telling me about Mo Rivers, Vaughn, and Horse, right? Oh. You know, them guys, guys was here before me and was playing whatever, especially Vaughn, right? How good was Vaughn coming up?
See, Vaughn played basketball. That Coliseum, like I say, after the kids played or anybody else, Vaughn got out there and played.
Yeah, that's all I remember. I knew he could play, but I didn't know his history.
Yeah, Vaughn was tough. I don't even know if he played high school ball.
Nope.
Okay. Vaughn, I guess the streets called him, but no, Vaughn was tough. Little left-handed guy, played tough. There was two guys, him and DeVere.
Another guy. That was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Vaughn told me he went to Boys and Girls because Alexander Hamilton had closed. He was going to go to Hamilton.
Right.
He got the Boys and Girls, and Paul Brown told him to his face, "We're not taking any hoodlums." And he said, "Yo, poet, that crushed me. Like, he didn't even try to like talk to me kindly as a grown man. Just let me know, listen, if you change your ways, whatever, you can make the team." And hearing those words, he you know,
a few of those guys in front of who came before you, like DeVere, even Earl Robinson.
Yes.
Earl, I thought, was the best athlete we had among all of them. You know, if he'd have had DeVere heart, I mean, he'd have been D1 player. Simple as that. Earl was tough. You know, sometimes you have to sit back and think of all these guys that came before them. Earl, Horse, even Kurt Artis, he came up along your way.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just, we used to call him Little Mel.
Little Mel Davis.
Little Mel Davis. I tell you, just how good he was. We used to have a 1-on-1 at 21. You know, that's what Mackey and Towns used to make us do. And Ollie Leonard beat him bad the first game, and we messed with him. Then the second week or something like that, Kirk came and destroyed him. Them guys wanted to play. Kirk was tough. He was. Watch how many guys we had that should have been better ball players. We always thought Ronald Cook.
Another one who I heard and used to see, just like people pointing like, yo, Pooh, that guy used to be good. And since he never came out and played with, used to always stay out and play with us. I
Yeah.
saw Vaughn, DeVere. He
Yeah.
never came out and played, so I
No,
didn't know.
he was in his high school. He had Vinnie Johnson on the bench when they played outside tournaments. That's how good Cook was. Him and Ollie started that backcourt. Vinny came behind them. That was in '74. You know, Cook was good. I mean, even before you, Ismail. You remember Ismail?
All those guys before me, yes.
I know.
Yeah.
That was my team.
Yeah.
Ish even went away to play college.
He played
ball.
junior college. He played junior college ball, yeah.
He was tough. But all them guys, even one guy I always thought was the best out of all of them, maybe better than anybody else, was Longshoe, Eddie Robinson. Eddie broke all of what's this guy named? One of his college records. He broke all his college records up at I think Los Angeles City College. Jerome Whitehead.
Right.
That's how good Eddie was. But like I said, during that time, drugs stopped a lot of them from playing. And these guys.
Yeah, and that now, when I think about it now, you mentioned all those names.
Mm-hmm.
When I was playing, I was the only one playing high school basketball. I didn't have nobody else. There was nobody else to like kind of. Nobody else is my peer. Well, not in Brevoort, I had to go outside of. But, thank God, man, for guys like yourself and the community who kind of kept me tough and, kept my skills sharp, man, because there was really nobody else.
I know. See, your group didn't have, that was it. That was it. That's why I always tell you, if you'd have went to Boys High, things may have changed. You may not have to go to Main Central. I remember when you went there. I followed you. Who you was tough. You was good. But Coney Island owned those two schools. Simple as that. They owned them. I always told them guys that. But Eddie Robinson, Eddie was tough. I mean, he could handle 6'8", can handle, shoot.
Wow.
Rebounded. Yeah. I mean, no one could bother him, but I think school just wasn't in it for him until he got I mean, there's a few guys that never played high school ball and went on to to play better.
Wow. Who are some of your biggest influences in your life that kept you out of trouble and kept you on the right path? Because look, as I remember, you was the only man, like, I'm going to be honest, like, there was guys around, but you was the only guy, Sonny Lewis, but Sonny Lewis wasn't from here, so he would come and do his part.
Well, me and Sonny's basically from the same era. We wasn't good ball players. We loved the game. He said the best picks I ever had. But see, we knew our role, and Sonny did a tournament before we did. Sonny had a Sonny Lewis tournament.
That's the tournament that I played in. Like, Norris sent me the picture of the inaugural tournament that we played in that year.
Right. That was Sonny Lewis. Sonny had good ideas. I don't know. Sonny, he was one of the first guys who wanted to endorse sneakers. When we heard, he said, listen, I got this company and I want to endorse sneakers, bring them to the neighborhood. That was Sonny Lewis, even though he dressed better than everybody else.
Oh, yeah. Even when he was playing, he was dressed better than you.
Oh, listen.
Okay?
Like I said, Sonny loved the game. He did.
From 85, I think it was from 85, because right after y'all ended the Coney Island team, right? Yeah. That left a lot of inspiration. And then Sonny came, and we had the high school tournament.
Right.
Right?
And
which
that was
which had the best players in Brooklyn come in.
You did.
Because there was no other tournament like that.
Coming up that way, we had, even when I was a young kid, like I said, we had football, basketball, and baseball. Mr. Bishop did baseball with the Stiford Little League, and that kept all of us together. We thought we was going to be baseball players, we didn't play much. Most of us didn't play basketball.
Right.
we played. Trotman did a football league too, 2-hand touch.
No, yeah, we did. I played in that.
I know. No. This was my older group too.
Oh, okay.
You
Okay.
played in my
Like,
league.
I remember the 2-hand touch thing. Yeah.
You played in my 2-hand touch.
Yes, yes, yes.
I had
My
to
first
stop.
trophy. My first trophy was the MVP trophy from that league.
Pooh, I had to stop that because I realized these guys didn't understand what 2-hand touch was. You know, they was looking to tackle people. I said, hold it, this not right. We got to stop that. That's why I didn't do football. You know, but we did a lot with the Linvet football. I took them guys to football because I always believe once you get to high school, if you're not half crazy or built like this or wanted to play football, football wasn't for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trey always told me a story. He thought he was going to be an August Martin in. He said, Dad, this guy was about 6'5", we're about 230, and all he wanted to do was knock us down. So that was it for me. He said that was it. So football we wouldn't do. But we had so much fun back then. This is what I enjoyed about it, you know. Even when I used to take the guys to play in the housing tournament.
Yes, that was my next thing. That was going to be my next question. Do you remember coaching us at CYO in housing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, those were the toughest leads. I always
Yes.
say it was ringer leads. You know, I say, Charles, you're not even in a housing, or these guys not even housing, but they playing. But I didn't mind because these guys wanted to play that. I mean, we had some good teams in there, PAL, CYO.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. But
Nah, those are some memorable times. And, you know, again, you exposing me to basketball in real time with referees where I'm coming from playing football.
yeah,
Everyone knew, besides you, now that I know, thought I was going to be a football player. And when Bobby, you know, DJ and those guys who I went to Lincoln with, they was like, we going out for the team. I was like, wow, these guys number one in the state. Like, why are we doing it? And I went out because I didn't want to ride that. I would ride home by myself.
I hear you. I hear you.
You know, look, kudos goes to you because without those housing tournaments and CYO tournaments, a lot of us, you know, wouldn't have made it through, man. So it was so important.
Hey, you know who helped me a lot doing that also was Mr. Gil Reynolds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
R.I.P. to the legend Gil Reynolds.
you have to be. I mean, Gil taught us, even when I played with him, you know, he taught us, you know, the best thing you can do is play with heart, you know.
Yes.
He used to take us up to Rikers, and we know we wasn't going to play with heart. Them guys in the stand yelling, Gil, man, what's up, you know? But even then, like I said, Gil, I got a few of the guys into Lawnbury Prep down there with him.
Yeah.
I used to have some of the guys go work out with him because
you sent me to 309.
Yeah.
You was like,
Yeah.
you want to get better, go to 309 Park.
and that's right. And that's
No, listen, Diggs, I'm telling you the real.
I know.
Joe Jackson, Gary Shears, Dwayne Carswell wound up being in the pros.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the guys he was working out.
And that's what Gil did. He worked you out. I'm not saying he was a great technician, because we always told him, Gil, why don't you go back and get your degree? You shouldn't be coaching Lawnbury Prep, really. You should be coaching college or someplace. But I think he was comfortable there. He would come home during the summer, stay with his sister in Left Right City, and we would get tournament games up for him so he can get money to go back. You know, they wasn't paying him too much down there.
Look at that. Look at that.
He would come ref games. Gil, who refereeing with you? You refereing by yourself. You get both the monies, you know.
That's right.
So, and this is what Gil.
Trev said, Gil told me use elbows. It's legal. Yo, Trev, remember how he used to tighten up that watch?
Yeah.
It's already tight. He's tightening it some more.
Woo! Gil was no joke. And we met Gil before he even started coaching basketball when he played football with Mr. Bishop and them. He was a tough guy. He would tell us, he told my son, listen, I'll knock you down and then I'll go knock your father down too. So what you going to do?
He told everyone that.
I know.
Tough love. But you knew this man loved you.
He did. Gil was good. He would even come by and watch some of the game, peep at some of the games. I said, Gil, you want a ref? He said, nah, I ain't bothering these little guys. But this is what he did. He got Sonny and Ox started into refereeing, doing their tournaments. And it was, we definitely missed him. I always say,
Yes.
went down to North Carolina. It was a shame. He should have been coaching or assistant coaching one of these high school teams up here. But hindsight
That's
is
real. That's
yeah,
real, man.
that's what
You know who I want to give a big shout out to? I want to give a big shout out to Miss Diggs.
Hey, listen, she put up with me for 47.
Man, I'm telling you, when we talk about a backbone, when you're a young man and the guy who you're looking up to, you know that his wife is there. She's always respectful, always willing to give you a helping hand, never disrespectful. I'm talking about when we as a young guys coming up and seeing that meant a lot to us. And then as we got older, and I ran the tournament, she was one of the first people to help me, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you needed something, you go to Miss Diggs, she's right there, going through her Rolodex and her phone, trying to figure out how can she help you. So I want a big round of applause to Miss Diggs now, because she definitely deserves that.
You have to. She learned a lot by working with Parks
Yes.
Department. She really did. From Jocko, to Lloyd. She ran Sunset Park. St. John, I always thought St. John should have been the best recreation center in the state.
Yep.
And this is what she did. She was administrator. She would sit and get everything right. We'd sit down. I said, baby, this is what I need. I need this amount of money for the trophies, and you got to give me the rest of it. And that's what she did. Okay, we're going to set up, and that's what we did. We followed a blueprint really from BSF, from the Brevoort Sports Foundation, where we would fund ourselves. We didn't ask. I gave the guys 25 raffles, and they sold. Most of the time I would say, listen, you go here. I got 2 guys over here looking to buy 25, those who couldn't sell. And that's what we did. And the kids always laugh. We got Brevoort dogs and red water. That's what got our trophies. See, we tried one year with Towns. I have to, Mr. Towns was our friend. So
yes.
He sponsored us one year. But then after that, I figured I had to jump through hoops and everything like that, and I didn't want to do that, So even with Darlene Mealy, she looking to fix up that. And you saw what it looked like. I tell her that looked like a 2 or 3 year project. Really, they really do. She grabbed Mel, which was a good deal for her to bring him in there. So we'll look and see, because like I say, Pooh, we history. We got to see what these young boys out here now. If they could have that now, I think we would save a lot of them, instead
Listen,
of.
this is why I want to have you on the show, because I know you guys have the blueprint. A corporation hit me up today, right? Because I put out, right before Darlene came on, I put out a short video just walking through Brevoort saying this needs to get fixed. And let's see what, Darlene Millie's going to do.
Right.
They hit me up and said they're willing to get involved. I said, okay, let me talk to the people who got the finances. He hit me back today, because he hit me last week, hit me back today, said we have the finances. We want to take care of it. Like, this is just for the show and him reaching out. I want to give a salute to my guy, All Things Soup. He the one, he saw the post, he sent it to that guy, and the guy sent it back to me.
Pooh, that's definitely, because I always thought that was the best place to play a basketball game.
The best place.
Yes. Where you can sit and watch. I used to go up to West 4th Street, and you're standing behind a fence. So I watch a quarter, then I'm out of there.
Listen, I felt funny running the tournament in the big park, but I couldn't put the kids' lives and at stake playing on that court. And look, again, when we did that, Miss Diggs was such a big help. So that wouldn't have went on without her. And also for the simple fact that it's a lot of work. I didn't know how much work.
I know.
I'm so used to playing. I never knew how much work it was. So, Jesus, for 20 years, y'all guys did that. I did it for 1. And let me tell you something. More women was willing to help me than guys. I'm going to say this again. You
I know.
guys at Brevoort would come around and ask about the old timers tournament, but never come out and help. We would have women at the table, women helping and assisting.
I know. See, and that's going to be your biggest allies, them mothers coming out there looking to help. See, that was a good place. I always thought that housing, being the biggest slumlord in the city, they didn't want to fix up nothing. They don't want to put money out in anything. So the Parks Department would have been your next best avenue to do it. And when you did a tournament there, see, you could have had the bleachers on both sides, and that would have worked. But like I still say, there's nothing like the Coliseum. If you get people who want to fix up that Coliseum, I tell them I'm all for it. I'll come up there.
When we get off, I'll forward you the guy's page so you can see it. You know, they've been going around the country and doing this. So, you know, whatever we can do to give the kids and the next generation a helping hand. You guys did it for me. I wanted to do it for other people. Even when I had my mentoring program, who was there? Miss Diggs, looking for ways to plug me in.
I wish I could call her up here and tell her to say, hey, you know.
No, she's definitely super. Oh, man, definitely. So now,
it's Diggs.
Dude, now you said you guys started off with 4 teams, right?
With 4 teams in the midget league.
Did you guys do Fulton Street, Ralph, Patchen? You did the whole 4 sides.
We did that. I think we did that. I think our 3rd year.
Okay.
Yeah, we did it that the 3rd year, but the first year, listen, I had Footy, Edward Jackson, Nate, and Derek Pearsall. That was the 4 coaches I had in the beginning. Booger was working crazy hours, so Raymond Ortiz took his place.
Yes.
And they won a championship, really, you know. So that was it. And then we went to 6 team, and then 8. And then we brought the biddies in there because Trevor told me he didn't want to be sitting on the bench with Derek.
Trev just yelled out Mackey. Trey just yelled out Mackey.
Yeah, so Trevor never played biddies. He went straight to him and LeVar went straight to the midget. They played midget. Yeah. But the biddies, and that was good. I wish we could have kept that biddies up because that's how you fund. Well, that's how you fund these guys. You go from biddy, midgets to seniors. Because when we got to the seniors, them guys were playing. I had to get referees to come in there because these guys could play. You know, they had boys' side team in there, Western House team in there. Trey brought some of his guys from August Martin. Like I said, it was good because those players, they brought the players in. I brought 1 player in the midget league, 1, and that was Nolan Johnson.
Nolan, yes.
That's because I was working up in '93 and he was on my team. So I told him, you have to come on down.
Right.
I put him down.
And you guys, Trey said you mentioned the draft was very popular, right? You guys adapted the draft. No, let me tell you, it probably was a headache for you guys, but the way the kids walked around the neighborhood and talked about it, it was such a big deal.
Pooh, you wouldn't realize it. I'm in the center, and these guys out there hiding players, you know, giving me their real name. Hold on, his name is Pookie. We know him as Pookie, and his name is something. These guys was crazy. I mean, we sat up in the center. We had the board up there. Who was going number 1? You had 5 minutes to pick a team, and these guys were sending guys to the park or sending them over to Bainbridge Street so no one could see them. That's how they did it. But they enjoyed that. That draft was funny. Them guys knew it that day. They say, well, how did you know who played? I say, because the little kids were wearing their uniforms, so I know who was out there, you know. I make a schedule and they followed it. But that's what it was. Them players and coaches, they brought players in. You know, they brought the whole boys' side team in, the whole Western House team in, you know. And
Trev said you introduced him to Nolan at age 12.
Because him and Trevor and Kareem, I brought them up to 93. I said, listen, I got a guy I want y'all to see. You know, he's tough. And they became lifelong friends. And I told them, Nolan and Trevor, still friends to this day.
Yeah. The
So
Trev said Lele got drafted before me.
listen,
Get well, my brother Lay.
listen. The
Yo,
kids remember.
listen, you be surprised what us grown men still remember, right?
I know.
We're still you ain't gonna let that go.
And watch this. And that was Suddenly.
Huh?
That was Suddenly Robinson. He the one who
Wow. R.I.P. my guy Sutley.
yeah, rest in peace, Sully. But he enjoyed. I mean, he enjoyed coaching. I that's why I loved him.
Yeah,
He really
so
enjoyed
he was,
coaching.
yeah, a good spirited brother. Yes,
He was simple as that.
one of my fewest friends I ever had in Brevoort. Yes,
Okay,
Sutley. Good guy. Yeah.
You know.
So now we talking about the midget league, right? And those 4 teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
How was the first game? Do you remember the first initial game? Like, do you remember anything from the first initial game?
You know, like I said, when she started this up, you know, do I remember now? You know, the brain takes a little while, but it started. I remember.
Right.
I remember the first game. It should have been Omar and them, because Omar, Trey, and somebody else was on their team. But it took them about 5 minutes to score a basket, you know.
And that's what usually happens with the young kids, right?
Yep. And I said, uh-oh, this may not work now. So, you know, that's what they did. It took them a while, but then they started scoring. You know, Omar and I wish I could think of this other guy, Palsy. He was tough, too. He was a good player. But
wow, GB said, ask Diggs about the best backcourt in the midget league.
He you know, he know I'm going to say him and Lamar Jones.
Yes.
I tell you how good they was. I think they were undefeated. We had, I think, 2 undefeated teams in there. But that team was tough. Who coached that team?
Who was the coach, GB? You know, GB, they on.
I know.
Somebody gonna say it.
It was Ricky nephew. Yeah, he coached, and you know what he did, because we gave, I think, Lamont the MVP, but the coach wanted to give GB one too. So there were 2 MVPs that year.
Norris.
Yeah,
Who was my coach?
Yeah,
Right.
Norris.
Salute to my guy Norris.
Norris used to yell.
You know,
Diggs,
I told Norris, right, because him and who was Michigan, right?
Oh.
When Sonny Lewis first started the tournament,
There you go.
Michigan went and got Pat Alphonse, Antoine, you know, Marichon, and all of those guys from Park Slope. And he didn't put nobody from Brevoort down. And I said, Norris, you're going to be our coach. He said, Paul, I got no time for coach. I said, I'll pick the team. You just be the coach. Because he didn't like that either.
Right.
Man, no, man, we taught that guy a lesson.
Listen, Norris was a good coach. And you mentioned Michigan also. Michigan was another team that had an undefeated team in the midget league, you know,
yes.
with Trey and Charles Jones and Shafi.
R.I.P. Mitch. I didn't even know he passed away. R.I.P. Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch. That
good guy. Good guy.
He was.
And listen, and when we finally won the championship, he was like, yo, I'm proud of you, Pooh. You know, those things we're never going to forget, man. And wow.
That's
great guys. It was a lot of great guys doing Norris, Michigan, you know, who all of them looked up to you and was trying to follow your footsteps and helping us guys.
Michigan was, what was the name of his team? He went with his boy.
Yeah, the orange team. It'll come to me because Pat Alphonse always threw it in my face like, yo, y'all had the house team. That's why y'all won. I was like, y'all won it the year before when I went away. So, it'll come to me. Unity. The Unity Warriors.
Okay, there you go. See,
Unity Warriors. Yeah.
Sometimes just flashing backs on them guys, and remember. See,
he said the Dusters as well. I guess that was the younger team.
Even they argue now. You should hear these guys arguing which era was the best, who had the best team. You should see them. I always tell them your team with Horse, Footy, Stinker, Jason, Ismail, Derek Pearson. That was a tough team.
That was tough. They were tough. They were tough because they had all the guys who lived in Brevoort who played. Right? Yeah, I don't think there was another team like that because even my team, some of the only maybe 3 or 4 guys who didn't live in Brevoort.
Yeah.
But that whole team lived in Brevoort, so that's what made that team so special. And none of those guys played high school basketball.
they were too busy elsewhere, you know.
Right.
That's
to tell you what kind of ball players they were.
Yeah.
And what a great job you did.
We always laugh because there was a few guys that went elsewhere, like Daisy from Brownsville. Now Daisy, I can't think of his first name, but he was tough. I mean, he was tough. I went out to ref a game in Brownsville. He said, "Diggs, listen, this ain't Brevoort. These guys will F you up." So I said, "Listen, I understand that." But we met so many of the guys in there. I mean, we really did throughout them years. And all of them became good guys. I enjoy watching them or following them on Facebook, see how they doing. You know, I always say my favorite backcourt was really, I know I'm going to get in trouble, but was Trevor and LeVar Folk. You know, that they was young playing against seniors. Some of them guys were 18 and they were 13. They said, "Diggs, we can't play there." "Oh, yes, you can. Get out there." They beating us up. "That's all right. Get out there and play." And they played.
Well, speaking of Trevor and Trey, you know, your sons who came up under all of us and who got a chance to play high school and college basketball as well. Let's talk about that and how proud are you of them. You know, and now they're both successful grown men as well. So I want to give a shout out to my guys, Trevor and Trey Diggs, no doubt.
Well, see,
right there, straight love.
They are
young guys. Always salute.
Oh, I mean, listen, definitely proud of both of them. You know, both of them did an excellent job. I always say both of them are great fathers. I think better fathers than I am. You know,
they learn from the best.
I always tell them, you know, they'll run upstairs, "Mom, Dad let the guy foul me and didn't call you." I say that's good. That's all right. But no, I mean they was good. Trey was a good coach. Trevor was a good coach. You should have seen him out in Vegas. His team won 4 state champions.
Yes, I was watching
years.
from afar.
Yeah.
I was checking out the articles and the videos. Definitely, very proud of my guy.
Yeah, he had them guys playing, you know, tough, you know, and not a big team. He beat some of the big teams out here. But the year he was leaving, I think the team knew it. The team knew it, so they lost a game they should have never lost, you know. But you know, they all had to go their other separate ways. But no, them guys was good. Them guys were good. I always thought Horst was one of the best athletes I seen in Brevoort. You know, Anthony Ravel. Even though I used to have to throw him out the center every other night. He always looking to do something. But
Horst said, "Yo, Pooh, I may not have been the best player, but you ain't gonna bust my ass." He said, that's one thing I pride myself in. I don't care what your name is, how nice you are, you ain't gonna bust my ass. If you do, you're gonna have half of what you gave everybody else.
He did. Like I watched him when they had them 2 All-Americans on that Lincoln team. I said, "Listen, we had 2 practices the day before. Let me know we gonna get these guys, you know." But Horst was tough. Even when he played the alumni game, you know, he was guarding Trevor. He was beating the hell out of Trevor, you know. "Dad, he followed me. He all right. He holding him. But that's what I liked about him. He was Horst
played with a lot of heart.
He did all the time. You know, you got a few of them guys out there. What also I liked about, sometimes I don't realize about the 2 fathers and son team that played in the Major League. There was 2 of them.
Who's that?
Well, Jabbar had one.
That's right. Okay.
Right? And Ramey had one.
Wow.
Raymond Parker. Those are the only 2 I can remember that. I wish we could have had more because I got a grandson who think he can beat me now. So,
hey, listen, he gonna be tough. He gonna be tough.
I watch him and I say, okay, I ain't gonna play you. I'm gonna sit all the way up top of the bench, so this way I can sit and watch you. But once you
The
get
one
to
thing I
love
like,
it,
the one thing I like about him when I had a conversation about him, he was focused.
he is. I mean,
He listened to every word I was saying. You know, Dad was like, "Look, you need to listen to that guy." And whatever I was saying, he was just locked in. I was like, "Wow."
and see, that's what you do. That's what you have to do to take your sons, because the sons ain't gonna listen to you too much. You know, they're gonna stand up like this. But I took mine to Gil, let them explain what they need to do. I took. I needed to take Mike to Gil, because Mike doing work over there overseas in England. But
Yes.
we
Salute to
still,
Mike.
yeah,
Yes.
that was our last biddy team too. They
Yeah,
played.
I coached him and Darren, and we won the Mo Kirby championship
Right,
when
right,
they were
right,
14.
right,
Yeah,
right. Right. We used to
yeah.
go up there and watch them. It's tough. Like I said, even now they tell me they got a few players around Brevoort that can play, that can really play that D1.
Listen, Diggs, let me explain something to you. I think it was last summer or the summer before, maybe last summer, I put up in every building, if you need help with mentoring young boys, I put up and tell them to get in contact with me. I'll be in the Coliseum every day for a week. I went inside the Coliseum every day for a week.
You get
No one
anybody?
came.
That's the biggest problem. See, I was lucky because even though I was working in the center, I had guys from Kingsborough, Albany, you know, all around, and they would come down to the Major League and play. We had guys from all over.
Yeah, listen, I mentioned it in the intro.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone from the surrounding area, this was a magnet. And when you have the Coliseum, which is the epicenter of Brevoort, and it's going on and it's pumping out that good energy, that good vibration, good things can happen. But if it's dead, if it's a dead pool,
Yeah, I think the kids' love for Harvey and Rick to get on the mic, that was the most exciting. Oh, Rick.
the voices of Brevoort. I had Rick on the show, and we talked about that that time. And if you want to check it out, it's on YouTube. Rick gave a great interview and gave all of these guys their flowers, being there, sitting behind the microphone, and also praised Harvey for handing him the mic and giving him the reins.
And that's what it was. Back in '74, we had Craig Jones, you know, the twins from '53. He thought he was Marv Albert, yeah, and that's what he did, you know. But that's all you needed, really, you know. Music. I used to tell the kids, listen, hey, Dad, we don't want to listen to Smokey and Temptations and all those old music. I said, listen, bring me a rap record that don't have cursing in it.
That's right. That's right.
And they couldn't do it. Okay,
that's right.
Y'all listen to my girl again. But that's what it was. You know, we definitely, I thought that was a big part of it. You know, what's the name? Tanya, you know, mentioned that TT was still mad at me.
She ain't playing. Let me tell you, I wish she would have got a chance to play high school basketball.
No, she did. She played at August Martin.
How many years did she play? All the years?
No, because remember there was a girl there named Marsha Mason or something like that. Shamika
Horslow, was she there?
No, she way before them.
Okay.
Yeah, no, she played at August Martin. I think
she was good. She was tough.
She was tough. She said, I ain't gonna never forgive you for not letting me play in the midget league.
Right.
But she was of age, but I apologize. I watched her play at BMCC too. She played college ball there.
She was tough. GB said, can't forget Mr. Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Who's that?
Mr. Jackson was the director of the center. See, it's so funny. We had two good directors I liked there, really. Jackson, now I can't think of the other guy's name. Elliott something. Mr. Elliott, yeah. Jackson, Jackson was a football player basically up at Fordham. That's where he graduated from. So that's what he did. And he understood how to, you know, write proposals and get things done. That's what he did at the center. Elliott was more hands-on. he got everything done. He wanted, listen, I'm the director. This is what we're going to get done, and this is how we're going to do it. So, yeah. Oh, okay. Somebody put Rhonda Singleton. I don't
Yes,
remember.
Trey, talking about the girl. That's the girl that went to August Martin.
Okay, yeah. See, so.
Yeah.
Like I said, we followed them guys, man. I sat up many days or in many stands, you know, watching these guys play, you know, because it was still fun for me. And I told these guys, it's something that if you play 4 years, if you don't get a scholarship, you go to city school, then you come and get your degree. See, you played over at FDU, which was a good school, even though I thought you should have did better than FDU. But
Listen, I say this all the time on my show. I picked the wrong school for my style of play.
yeah,
The first game I started as a sophomore, my assistant coach, who now runs Hoop Group in New Jersey, came to me and said, you know this is not going to happen again. I said, what do you mean? He said, you scoring 25. I said, I missed one shot. And he was playing mind games. Then he left and went to another school because I was playing in front of the guy he recruited. It's crazy.
I know
I got my degree and it all worked out.
I know.
You know.
That's where that works. We find that out later, but
yes,
that's how it works. I mean, college sports is a business. Simple
yes.
And I wish we could teach a lot of these kids. See, even I had to learn the hard way about how to get your kid in school, pick the right school. Trevor always told me, he said, listen, if I'd have knew this, I'd have went to a historical black college. He said,
listen, if I would have had someone, you know, there was no guidelines. You had to kind of figure it out by yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So there was a lot going on. But again, what we can do to try to help the next generation, and that's another one of the reasons I wanted to do the show, because, you know, my friends like Mo Kirby passed away.
I know.
You know, Dave Edwards, a lot of guys through the Lee Greens. We keep going on. Eric Mobley, guys who never really got a chance to tell their story, right? And this is what we want to do, make sure we document his history, because later on, as we know, through history, somebody else will be telling your story.
You know, and you mentioned Mo Kirby. I always tell Mo, I said, listen, you was the first guy to play in, what do they call them games after the tournament where they go to Christ the King to play, or Brooklyn versus Queens or something like that.
Was that the wheelchair? Yeah,
the wheelchair. He was the first guy to play in there 2 years. That's how good Mo was. I always tell him, Mo, you was tough. I watched too many of them guys come up and then stop playing, like Kelly. Kelly's
supposed to be on the show. Kelly played. Now, when I found out what Kelly was, Kelly played in the same time that Pearl Washington, right?
Yes, he did.
He didn't make the team, but he was so good on the outside and everywhere else. You know, you wouldn't have never known that. He didn't play high school ball.
I didn't know it. I thought he just stopped going to school. You know.
No. Yeah, I think he played he played junior college ball or Division II.
Oh, okay.
I think it was junior college ball.
And that's what happens. Sometimes these guys don't realize, you know, sometimes prep school may be good for some, may be worse for some other people, but Kelly was somebody who should have been playing ball. We used to play against him over at BRC and out in Brownsville. Kelly would drop 50 on us, and I had Earl and all these other guys.
Yeah,
we always
that was a bucket. He was a walking bucket.
Oh, man. And then he became a referee. Two guys I didn't understand. Him and Earl Robinson becoming referees.
Now, listen, let me tell you. I played in the championship game in West Fork with Earl Robinson. We're up. We're playing prime time. They got Elmer Anderson, Corey Williams, Speedy Williams, Anthony Mason. They have everybody on their team. We're beating them. Fourth quarter. Earl gets into a scuffle with Elmer. Punches Elmer in the mouth. Throws the whole game off. Throws the whole momentum off. We wound up losing by 3. Earl is banned from the city. I go live in New Jersey for a couple of years. Come back to New York City. Earl is a referee. And
the odd thing is, they tell me he's one of the best referees out there.
He is one of the top referees. He's an elite referee. He even was refereeing in the ACC at one time.
And I always say Earl was probably one of the best athletes I've seen, too. He was tough. But I
So
just didn't
crazy.
understand that referee because he always fought somebody. Hell, you can't beat nobody up, man. Play
No.
ball. But that's what he did, though. That's what he did.
Yeah. When I had Darlene Millie up here, and we were talking about the next chapter of the Brevoort Coliseum. I don't know how long I'm going to be around here, right? But I definitely want to make sure whatever was happening with you and your legacy, that whatever the next time or the next batch of people that's running the Brevoort Coliseum, it's to your excellence and what you guys is doing and to the next level. Because it's definitely going to take some community people and people that's been here, male and female, to be involved to make that a success.
I hope so, because I would love to sit up in, as they call it, Section E, and have somebody pass me up a Brevoort dog and watch a game, you know.
That's right. We'll have a
do.
special section just for the digs. You come up. That's right.
Yeah, it's been humbling, and it's been an experience that I had because it gave me flashbacks. I mean, I'm looking back to one of the first games that I coached, and that was Lil Vaughn in 1974. They had a little. I gave his son that pamphlet I had from the Brevoort Sports Foundation. I thought I had two, but I gave it to him, so I hope he kept it because that made us realize we needed little guys in there. That's when I realized we have to grow from the ground up, you know, to get our seniors. By the time I trained them with seniors, these guys was, man, I had to get different referees for these guys, you know. I really did, because they was playing him, Charles, and them guys. They was GB and them guys. They was tough. So
Black Man Who Reads says Brevoort dog and red water.
Listen, that was dinner sometime. Tell them two Brevoort dogs. You need one. That's what it was. I mean, that was such a fun. Miss Montgomery, my wife, Yvonne, they would get behind there. Listen, all I would do is I would take her shopping. She'd get what she want. Listen, I'll set it up for you. I get out there. Teddy always tell me, he say, I'm so used to you carrying a table. Can you carry a table now? No, I'm not carrying a table. I say, listen. Nah,
that's crazy.
I know.
So, as you watch the film about your time in Brevoort, did anything surprise you?
You know, and it's so odd because I really have to sit back and watch that film again, because I had people around me. We were distracted, talking and everything else.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to think of, no, even Ray Haskins, because I think he opened up the film. See, Ray was tough. I watched him, you know, from high school, college. Ray was tough. And this is what all his teams were. His team was tough. Even the girls' teams with Brooklyn, USA. See, Brooklyn, USA, I mean, when I always say when Lester left, it had Ziggy coming in there and stealing that Brooklyn, USA. Not stealing it, but using that Brooklyn, USA name. And
he stole the name. He stole the name.
He did. And he took the kids all over, and the original Brooklyn, USA just stopped. They didn't do nothing. And I remember them from Sports Unlimited. This is how far they go back. But that was the problem I always had with Ray. We talked about that. I say, Ray, you still was supposed to do something, but Ray was busy. He went down the shore. He went to LIU. So he basically didn't have time to do any outside, but nobody else could do it.
Grassroots. Ray Haskins is the godfather of this show. He calls. He gives me so much information. Have helped me reach out to so many different people. Definitely. So whenever I need coach is always there.
Always use him because, like I said, he's a guy I looked up and watched what he did. You know, and even at LIU, I should take all the guys from the center. Go down to LIU, watch the games.
That's right. That's right.
That's what
he brought Brooklyn back with that.
He definitely did. He definitely did.
Wow. So as your kids start to grow and give you grandchildren, did the film and renaming of the park allow you to sit back and reflect on your amazing adventure growing up in Brevoort and the incredible job you did with your life?
Well, definitely. Once she told me she was going to do that, that's all I've been doing, sitting back and just going over. Man, I went back to '69 when I got out of high school, and talked about that Coliseum. That there was no place where you can play, and that's what I wanted to make the Major League be safe. And we out there playing. Sometimes we playing until 11 o'clock. The little guys out there playing, because we did 3 games and stuff like that. And I'm out there. Then I had to go take a quick shower and run to work. But I enjoyed that. I mean, I wouldn't change that for the world. Trey and Trevor, I think Trey know more about the Major League than I do, because he was old enough to follow it,
Let me tell you, Trey walked up to me one time. We were talking, and just in past we saw each other was talking, and really blew my mind and humbled me. He was like, yo, Pooh, I remember you being one of the guys I looked up to. My father taking me to the games and watching you play. And, we grown men now, so it just touched you in a different place.
Yeah.
And I was so humbled at that moment, to realize you don't know what kind of effect you're having on people when you're going through it in real time.
Pooh, you did right. I mean, you came back, you taught over 21 and taught over Bishop Ford or whatever that school was over there.
I was still at Martin de Porres. Yep, the same high school. Yep.
Oh, that's it. That's what it is. Okay.
It was Martin de Porres. We were just in our Bishop Ford building.
Oh, okay. See, that's what happened when they changed all these buildings and changed the names. But see, you very rarely see one of the guys come back and still stay in the community. I tell them Brevoort is always home to me. Even though I'm Long Island, Trey, the same thing. I don't know if he got time to come through like he used to, but Trevor's over in China. He said, "Listen, first thing I do when I come home, I'm going to Brooklyn."
It's so crazy when at a young age when so much is going on at home and in my life, I was planning not to return, and if it wasn't for my mother passing and me have to come take care of my nieces and then my nephew.
I hear you.
And kind of run the helm of the household and get my nieces and nephews out of here. But, like I said, the Most High always have a plan.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'm proud to say I'm from Brevoort.
There you go.
Look, we gonna keep having these young guys look at positive role models when they walk through the neighborhood so they can see strong black men doing the right thing.
And that's all they need to do, really. Sometimes you need that blueprint where they can follow. It may not, and they have the ideas. Like the only thing that discourages me sometimes when I come there and see my group still sitting down there waiting for a number to come out, or I watch the other guy sitting over there playing dominoes and doing the hookah or whatever they're doing with that stuff. So I tell them they can't do that no more. Really, you got time.
And I tell the guys my age who say, yo, the kids not listening. And I was like, well, you didn't listen, right? But I know they'll listen to you. Yeah. Trust me. A lot of the kids who I taught, who are 5th grade, who are now grown now.
I know.
You got to reach out. If these kids, look, we're here. It's better to reach out to them than say they're crazy and they won't listen to anyone.
Yeah. I'm gonna take you downstairs so I can let Miss Diggs say hey.
All right, cool. And we're about to wrap it up. So I know we're about to get to our top 5s, all right?
Okay.
Top 5s.
And listen, I need at least 5 minutes to think about that.
There you go. So we gonna start this off right, okay?
Okay.
And look, I want to know who are your top 5 players from Brevoort. Hey, Miss Diggs, how you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for everything you've done for myself and the people in Brevoort. Thank you.
Because he wanted to say hey. Okay, top 5.
Yes, top 5. And don't worry about it. I don't worry about being in top 5s, but top 5 players from Brevoort. That's okay. I'm good.
You mean the top 5 ball players, period?
Yes.
Okay. Do my time, I'm going to say Mel Davis, number 1.
Yes.
Number 2, I have to go with my brother-in-law, Slim Montgomery.
Slim Montgomery. That's such a fire name.
I know Ingram Montgomery the third. I'm just look that way. The third is Mo Rivers.
Mo Rivers, legend. All of them legends right here. Yes.
For see, I'm gonna do my era. I can't do the midget league.
Go ahead, go ahead. This is your five. Nobody else matters.
Fourth is Nat Miller.
Nat Miller.
And I know I'm missing somebody, but I would go number 5 is Freddie Lewis.
Freddie Lewis.
Yep. From Elizabeth City.
Trey said Trevor Diggs. You know. Let me tell you, when I came back and saw, because Trevor was young, right?
Yeah.
Very small when I was playing. Came back and seen this little guy shooting these threes. I was just like, yo, this kid, and he grew some. And they used to wear the middle of the part like Steph. Yo, I was like, he passed the eye test right off the bat.
Now I'm gonna give you a top 5 from the Brevoort Midget League era.
Okay.
I can do that.
Are you reading? Are you reading my list?
I know.
It's top 5 Brevoort players and
from
top 5
era.
midget league. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And it's so odd because you know what I have to do? I have 2 brothers that's going to be in there, and I'm going to have to take them as one. I'm going to say.
Okay.
Charles and Lamont.
Yes.
Number 1.
Yes.
Number 2, Sherrod and LeVar.
Yes. Brothers back to back. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 3, Trey and Trevor.
Yes.
Number 4, GB and Omar.
Look at that, yo. Look at that.
I have to put them down there
right
because
there.
Omar just had one good year.
Yeah.
and number 5, Jabbar and Taiwan Dasher.
Yes.
So
Definitely
I have to do
certified Brevoort legends all the way around.
Yeah. So that's what I have to do. And it's fun. I'm probably somebody gonna make me revise that list. Hey, what about this guy? Well, listen. Listen, that was my top 5.
And the last one,
brothers.
last top 5. He said, Kia said,
who?
Omar gonna get you.
I know, yeah.
I'm gonna see Omar. I'm gonna tease him about that. He made the list.
Tell Omar I see him now, and he can't catch me. Yeah, that's what it is. So I have to do that. It was
all
fun,
right.
Cool. It was fun.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So the last top 5, right? Put you back in your world. Your top 5 go-to songs.
My top 5 go-to songs? You mean go-to songs?
Yes, your songs that you want, like this. You come in, you want to hear. I'm gonna play this, right? What's your 5 go-to songs?
Who? Didn't I tell you I was 70? So there must be about 2,000.
I'm a music guy. Trust me. I'm a historian too.
Well, see, I'm a Smokey. Smokey is my favorite artist. Simple
Smokey
as that.
Robinson, one of the best songwriters and performers in
It is. So I have
history. Yes.
Yeah. So it has to be more love from him. Temptations, My Girl.
My Girl, which he wrote, which Smokey Robinson
I know
wrote.
he wrote it. Yeah, he wrote that. 4 Tops. Ain't no woman like the one I've got. Oh, dance it, baby, dance it. No, I see Earth, Wind and Fire and Sly and Jimi Hendrix. That's in a different category.
Earth, Wind and Fire. Let me tell you, they had the best album covers. Even before I used to listen to the music, I would just stare at the album covers.
The album cover, it is a Trevor little son.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I got them for the summer, so.
Okay, cool.
He probably looking at me and say, "Hey, is it time to go outside?"
Oh, I'm playing music.
Yeah. No, I I have a collection of about 30,000 songs on my computer. So I love music.
Same here. Well, listen, I'm glad you was able to come on the show. We got a chance to finally catch up. We see each other passing. I said, I gotta get you on the show.
I know.
You on the show, Diggs. I'm glad you came on, man, and shared
Oh, listen, that was fun. We got to do that again.
Yep.
And that's when the other side of my brain starts functioning. And I can remember more. But Pooh, I'm proud of you, and I like what you're doing. So listen, we just got to get that Coliseum working. We got to see what they're gonna do. So we're gonna stay in touch.
Yes, definitely. And whatever you need me to do, trust me, I'll be your go-to guy to make sure everything works out right.
Well, watch this. You definitely was mentioned, too.
Okay.
So
All right.
listen, Pooh, love you, and you stay
well.
well.
You too, Diggs. Thank you.
Okay.
Love you, Miss Diggs.
All right, now you take care.
All right, take care.
Okay, Pooh, that was
All
good.
right, take care.
All right.
All right. Wow. Amazing, right? You never know how much people have an impact on your life when you're a youngster. Young people, it's okay to listen to people that's older than you and been here before you, because they may be able to help shape the rest of your life. I want to thank Mr. Thomas Diggs for coming through. Thank his family for sharing the moments with us. And salute to my guy, A-Game, Trevor and Trey Diggs, Miss Diggs. Love you guys. I'm Glenn Pooh Harding signing off. Basketball Heads, the official home for New York City basketball. Peace.
Okay.